The Wendigo. Just the name sends shivers down your spine. It whispers of dark forests and icy winds, of a presence that chills the soul. It's a story told around campfires to keep kids safe, a tale to remind them of the dangers lurking in the woods. But the Wendigo is more than just a scary story, more than a figment of imagination. Imagine a creature born from greed and desperation, a monster created by the darkest human emotions. Taller than any man, with skin stretched tight over bones, it is a horrifying sight to behold. Its eyes burn with an unnatural hunger. It craves human flesh, driven by an insatiable appetite. That's the Wendigo, a creature of nightmares. For centuries, Native American tribes, especially in the Great Lakes region, have warned about this creature. It's a reminder of the darkness that lives inside us all, a symbol of the consequences of unchecked greed and hunger. A warning against giving in to our darkest desires, a cautionary tale that has stood the test of time. The Wendigo legend comes from the Algonquin tribes of North America. They lived in a harsh environment where winter meant starvation. Sometimes, to survive, people did unthinkable things. The Wendigo, in a way, was a lesson. It was a way to teach people about the dangers of greed and selfishness. Cannibalism, even in the most desperate times, was a taboo. It could turn you into a monster. Over time, the legend spread. Different tribes added their own details, but the core message stayed the same. Be careful what you do when no one is watching. The darkness inside can consume you. What makes the Wendigo terrifying is not just its appearance, it's the hunger that drives it. This creature is never satisfied. Every victim only makes the hunger stronger. Imagine the emptiest you've ever been. Now imagine that feeling multiplied 1,000 times, that gnawing, desperate need consuming your every thought. That's the Wendigo's existence. They say the Wendigo can smell your fear. It knows when you're weak, and once it sets its sights on you, there's no escaping. You become just another morsel to feed its insatiable appetite. Section 4. Facts about Wendigos, 3 chilling truths. The Wendigo legend is full of chilling details that have haunted cultures for centuries. Here are 3 facts that make this creature truly terrifying. 1. Born of cannibalism. Legend says the Wendigo is a cursed human, a person who has committed the ultimate taboo. Someone who resorted to cannibalism to survive the harshest of winters, driven by an insatiable hunger. This act twisted them, body and soul, into the monstrous Wendigo, a creature of pure horror. 2. Winter's bite. Wendigos are creatures of the cold, thriving in the most unforgiving environments. They thrive in winter's icy grip, where food is scarce and desperation sets in, preying on the weak and vulnerable. The biting wind is like their breath, and the snow muffles the screams of their victims, making escape nearly impossible. 3. Growing hunger, growing size. With each victim, the Wendigo grows, its hunger never satisfied. It becomes taller, stronger, its hunger ever increasing, a relentless force of nature. Some say they can tower over trees, their howls echoing for miles, a sound that chills the soul. These details paint a chilling picture of a creature born from our darkest impulses. A nightmare made flesh. A reminder of the thin line between humanity and monstrous hunger. A cautionary tale of what we could become. Section 5. A runaway train and a howling terror. One story tells of a group of loggers stranded in a remote cabin during a particularly harsh winter. The snow piled high, isolating them from the outside world, and the cold seeped into their bones. Food was scarce, and the men grew desperate. Their supplies dwindled, and the once jovial group grew tense and fearful. One night, a terrible blizzard raged, and a deafening roar shook the cabin. The wind howled like a banshee, and the walls creaked under the pressure of the storm. Through the howling wind, they heard it, a sound that was not of the storm but something far more sinister, a chilling wail, like the cry of some wounded animal, but deeper, more primal. Fear gripped their hearts. It was a sound that spoke of ancient terrors and untold horrors. They boarded up the windows, hoping whatever lurked outside wouldn't find a way in. The men worked frantically, their hands shaking as they hammered nails into the wood. The next morning the storm had subsided. The world outside was calm, a stark contrast to the chaos of the night before. Venturing outside, they discovered the tracks. Footprints that were unlike any they had ever seen. Huge, inhuman footprints in the snow, leading towards a nearby train track. The size and shape of the prints were terrifying. The same train track a supply train used, a train that never arrived. The realization hit them hard. They never found the missing supplies or the train crew. The mystery of the vanished train haunted them, but the chilling howls echoing from the woods that night told them all they needed to know. The forest held secrets, dark and deadly. The Wendigo had claimed more victims. The legend was real, and it had come for them. Section 6. Stay away. The Wendigo legend is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can consume us. It's a warning against greed, selfishness, and the depths of human desperation. Don't tempt fate. Stay away from the dark woods, especially in the heart of winter. Heed the warnings in the wind. And if you hear a chilling howl echoing through the frozen trees, run. The Wendigo is hungry, and it might be listening.